Hi, I'm Alicia Yu. This is Crash Course Human Geography, and today we're going to be talking about political organization of space. Political geography is known as the study of the political organization and human systems of the planet, which are constantly in a state of organizing the land to fit the needs of humans. Sometimes called geopolitics, political geography is of vital importance in the understanding of the world around us. The first step is understanding what political geography is. American media often misuses the terms of political geography. For example, there is a distinguishable difference between a state and a nation, as well as a nation-state. A nation-state occurs when the cultural borders of a nation correspond with the state borders of a country. Two good examples of nation-states are Japan and Denmark. There is no perfect example of a nation-state because every person in the country would have to be the same ethnicity, speak the same language, and practice the same religion. Within Japan, 99.5% of the people are ethnic Japanese. A different idea is a nation. A nation is a group of people with common cultural characteristics. They may be linked by ethnicity, language, or religion. Usually, nations are located within the borders of a country. Different nations in the world include the Chinese, Koreans, Basques, and Kurds, just to name a few. The Earth is divided among just under 200 countries. These countries are more correctly termed as states. In the U.S., we have 50 subdivisions called states, even though they are part of one state. A state is any area that regulates their own internal and external affairs in a particular piece of land. So the state has the power to make laws, defend its borders, and enact policies. This power is called sovereignty. A country cannot obtain sovereignty simply by declaring it. Once foreign countries begin to recognize the country and treat it like a state, it then becomes a state. Likewise, you can't join the plastics by just saying so. Regina George has to say so. A well-integrated state not only has sovereignty, it also consists of an effective administrative framework. Every state has multiple levels of authority, though the distribution of power within a state varies widely. States may be categorized into three types according to their distribution of power. There is a unitary system, a confederal system, and a federal system. A federal system divides the power between the central government and the subunits. Usually, a division of power is between the national government and provincial governments that exercise independent authority within their own territories. Federalism is favorable in regions by allowing for diverse needs and preferences, but also features a central government that is strong enough to keep the country from falling apart. A unitary system is one that concentrates all policy-making powers in on a central place. It contrasts with a federal system. The unitary government places most power in the hands of central government officials. The unitary government system works best in nation-states with few internal cultural differences and a strong sense of national unity. Unitary states are especially common in Europe. A good example is France. France has a long tradition of unitary government in which a very strong national government dominates local government decisions. Because the unitary system requires effective communications with all regions of the country, smaller states are more likely to adopt it. A confederal system has a vast majority of political power that rests with the local governments. Local government has a great deal of freedom to do what they want, but this can often lead to conflicts. An example of a failed confederation was the United States government under the Articles of Confederation. Today, all political systems fall on a scale from the most concentrated amount of power to the least. Unitary governments are placed on the far left, confederal on the far right, and federal governments are in between. Most countries have a unitary system, although some are transferring powers from a central government to sub-governments. This is commonly known as devolution. Devolution of government powers to sub-governments is usually a reaction to centrifugal forces, those that divide and destabilize. These could include religious, linguistic, or ethnic diversity. Centrifugal forces destabilize the government and encourage the country to fall apart. In contrast, forces that tend to unite a state are called centripetal forces. A religious or linguistic factor may be both a centrifugal and a centripetal factor at the same time. The unifying factors, such as language and religion, give people a shared, positive vision of what their country is all about. This has been this week's Crash Course. Thanks for watching, and tune in next week for more.